Hey, what's up guys, John here. 11.8 million small business owners have taken out EIDL and PPP loans to the tune of $813 billion over the last several years.
As billions of dollars started flowing out in related paycheck protection loans, millions of dollars ended up in the hands of fraudsters and scammers.
Well, now President Joe Biden has amassed an army of 30,000 IRS agents to pursue and look into all of these loans.
You can't hide. We're going to find you. We're going to make you pay back what you stole and hold you accountable under the law. They
currently are saying 95% of them are fraudulent. And we're starting to see a lot of people going to jail. I'm talking TikTok influencers, former NBA players, everybody. Everybody's getting audited now. I'm going to show you a couple videos to show you just how severe this situation is and why I think this could be a massive, massive problem for American small business coming very, very soon. Whether or not they've committed the fraud, the problem's going to be defending it, and that's going to be expensive. I'm going to break this down and show you. Look at this first video here, 2.5 million views. This lady works at a credit union, and this credit union is just saying that every other day that someone's getting audited. I'm going to show you another video as well, a CPA saying, yep, several of my clients have already been audited. A lot of my colleagues, their clients are getting audited. Like this is a really, really big problem. I'm going to break it down for you. I'm going to show you the facts. Please hit the like button. Hit the like button. YouTube will share this content to educate the people about what's going on in America. And if you'd like to fix your credit, we'd love to help you at my company, GreatCreditFast.com. That's GreatCreditFast.com. If you have late payments, medical bills, charge-offs, foreclosures, bankruptcies, repossessions, or any negative item in your credit report, go to GreatCreditFast.com. Click the link in the description just below this video. Schedule a free strategy session for tomorrow, for Tuesday. Take a look at this. This is absolutely wild.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but y'all remember those PPP loans that everybody was doing during the pandemic? Baby, I'm working in a bank now, specifically a credit union. But that being beside the point, y'all, they are sending subpoenas every other day, if not more than that, to review the people who were claiming that they had employees. So y'all remember when Biden had said he was going to hire 25,000 agents so that they can go over all of that stuff? It's happening. And I don't know if y'all have been paying attention to a lot of the entrepreneurs. Baby, they're coming for a lot of people, regardless of if you paid that money back or not.
Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Look at this, accountant.
I don't know if this applies to you or not, but people who got PPP loans and EIDL loans are getting subpoenaed. I've been hearing this from colleagues in the industry, along with other people who work at banks, and even myself seeing a few clients get this. So this is real. The pandemic was a free-for-all, but they are not sparing anybody. They're coming after you to see if you claimed all those employees on the PPP. Are they real employees? That income that you claimed to get the EIDL loan, is that really reported on your tax return? Because if you remember during the pandemic, all you had to do is check a box essentially saying that this is true information and just submitted it, and then they would just automatically send you the money. But now they are checking the documentation to see if you what you claimed on those forms is really true or not.
That's going to be a really, really big problem. So they've already extended the clawback period, the statute of limitations. Before it was 4 years. Now it's 10 years. They have all the time in the world to start to go through all of this. But these 30,000 agents, they're getting to work. These 30,000 agents right here, 30,000 employees, IRS. Over the next 2 years, we begin spending $80 billion. Think about this. If you were to spend $80 billion and hire 30,000 employees, where would you put their attention? You probably put their attention where the money is to get your $80 billion back and get a return on that money. Well, they just sent out $813 billion for those EIDL and PPP loans. This is going to be a big, big problem. A very, very, very big problem for a lot of small businesses, because 11.8 million small businesses have taken out these loans. Now, we all know a lot of these businesses probably fraudulent, fake, never existed in the first place, but a lot of them are legitimate, right? A lot of them are going to be legitimate. And when you look collectively across America's small business, 33,185,550 small businesses, you can bet a lot of small businesses are going to be walking into a lot of cost. A lot of small businesses are going to have to defend this. And a lot of small businesses are probably guilty as well, right? There's going to be a mixed bag, of course. And so what I think we're going to start to see here is a lot of uncertainty for those that have taken out these EIDL loans. Now, look at this. They say that fines can equate to $1 million and imprisonment for up to 30 years. Think about the crime in which most people would commit to get a sentence of 30 years. pretty harsh crime, right? Well, they're comparing all those crimes to this, right? They're comparing that to this. This came out, and the dates are extremely important. This came out 4 days ago. Former pro basketball player indicted on pandemic loan fraud. A former professional basketball player has been arrested in Missouri after an indictment accused him of fraudulently obtaining pandemic relief funds. Lorenzo Gordon, 40 years old, of Chesterfield, Missouri, was indicted in U.S. District Court in St. Louis on January 17th on 3 counts of wire fraud and 1 count of theft of government money. He pleaded not guilty to the charges on Wednesday. The indictment alleges that Gordon fraudulently applied for loans from the Payment Protection Program and the Economic Injury Disaster Loan Program, which were intended to help businesses and their employees during the COVID-19 pandemic. The indictment says Gordon applied for an EIDL loan for Logo Fitness, LLC on June 19, 2020, falsely claiming the company had gross revenues of $96,000 in the trailing 12 months before the pandemic. He received a $9,000 advance and $39,200. The indictment says on June 22, 2020, Gordon applied for an EIDL loan for Elite 50 Basketball Training LLC, falsely claiming gross revenues of $234,656 in the trailing 12 months before the pandemic. The indictment says that it resulted in a $10,000 advance and a $107,000 loan. Both companies were formed in 2020. The indictment also says Gordon applied for a PPP loan on April 16, 2021, falsely stating that he's the sole proprietor of Lorenzo Gordon Janitorial Services and received $20,000. Each wire fraud charge is punishable by up to 20 years in prison and $250,000 fine or both. The theft charge is punishable by up to 10 years in prison and the same fine. So filling out this paperwork basically just ended that man's life. Right? Filling out that paperwork, committing that, fraud, sure, it was a really, really, really bad thing. Sure, you shouldn't have done it, no doubt about it. But I don't think a lot of people are anticipating this type of consequence for committing that action. And I believe we're going to start seeing a really big wake-up call coming across the board. I mean, look at this TikTok influencer, this guy, Danny Devin. You've definitely probably seen him on TikTok. He's talking cryptocurrency, Ethereum, SafeMoon, all these different cryptos. Everyone was listening to the guy. I mean, he was blowing up pretty quickly. And $1.2 million in loans he applied for. He was granted $429,000. Unfortunately, since he was granted that money, he was exposed for it. And if he would have just stuck on what he was doing before and not got greedy with this, he probably would have made a lot more over the long term. But now he is facing, not facing. He's in. He's 3-year prison sentence for that. So think about that. 3-year prison sentence, plus they clawed back the $429. So he basically just ruined his life. So you start to just, put this into perspective. You have 11.8 million loans, these small businesses, 30,000 agents going after this money in an economy that's starting to contract. No one can deny this. The cost of living is getting out of control. People have less money today than they've ever had. They have more debt today than they've ever had. So what's going to happen? The more people that are getting audited for these loans that they have taken out, the more people are going to be forced to close their businesses. They're probably going to be forced to sell off their little mom and pop automotive shop or little store, potentially sell off their home, duplex, triplex, fourplex, whatever it may be. You're going to start seeing people being forced to liquidate to try to pay off not just their accounting fees, but legal fees. A lot of expenses are likely going to come from this. 30,000 agents. You think about this. You think they're just going after those that have taken out $100,000, $500,000, $1 million loans? They're going after everybody, even if it was forgiven. So if you've received one of these loans, I would definitely recommend speaking to your accountant, make sure everything's buttoned up, and hopefully everything's on the up and up, because I think there's going to be a massive, massive rug pull for American small business. What do you think about this situation? Do you think we're going to walk into a scenario where we are going to likely see tens of thousands of Americans, tens of thousands of small business owners go into prison? I personally think when you look at the numbers, 11.8 million small businesses that have taken out these loans, or 11.8 million loans, I would be surprised if the number wasn't greater. That's honestly what I'm thinking. But I personally think that everyone, especially all American entrepreneurs, business owners, got to do everything on the up and up. You got to have a really, really good accountant. You have to have if you're, doing business, you probably want to have a good attorney. You want to have everything really, really clean. You don't want to have anything sloppy. You want to have everything really, really on the up and up going forward, because things, I believe, are going to get pretty bumpy in America. Drop below. Let's have a conversation about this. And if you'd like to fix your credit to position yourself, what I believe is going to be the greatest transfer of assets and wealth in American history over the next couple of years, you're going to need exceptional credit. Ask yourself the big question. If you were a bank, would you lend you money? If the answer is no or maybe, give us a call. If you have late payments, medical bills, charge-offs, foreclosures, bankruptcies, repossessions, or any negative item on your credit report, go to GreatCreditFast.com, click the link in the description just below this video, schedule that free strategy session, and catch you in the next video.